Previously on T-Man 978.
And probably more fittingly, a Figma, especially a smaller female Figma. So this is more the scale right there.
T-Man 978 Chill Review.
Hello everyone, T-Man 978. I finally have one of these PlayStation's The Shapes Collection action figures from Spin Master, and this time it's Aloy, who is a deluxe figure. Comes in this special box. Show her. On this side shows all the accessories that I'm going to show you. And this is actually a slipcover. So you get this right here. Artwork. The game is Horizon Forbidden West. And I'm just noticing right there they have two eyes right there. So Horizon 2 basically. And after you split the tape, it actually has the figure right here. So as you can see, they're definitely trying to go for that import Figma SH figure art situation. And they definitely went for that price point wise. I've messed with her. I didn't get to mess with these, so I'm going to mess with these and come back with my full review. She's kind of good, and I kind of feel like this thing was worth the full price they were asking for, but it's on discount right now on Amazon. Link in the description. At the time of the recording, that is. Alright, here is Aloy out of the packaging, and she is one of the most deluxe retail figures or American sold action figures like ever. It comes with so many things. 3 other hands options, as far as in sets, I should say. You get 5 extra faces. Her spear and arrow for posing, and her bow, of course. And separate in the packaging was her quiver. I put that in here, and it was difficult. I had to use a spudger to poke it all the way through, and I am not risking taking that out. It's in there. Here's the quiver. It has paint apps on the little frilly, feathery part, which I don't know the tail end of the arrows, and you get paint on the little buckles and whatnot. And the paint is nuts. Like any paint app she probably has on in the game should be on this body right here. I don't think they skimped on anything. And now that I'm seeing her like close up and whatnot, it may be more paint on her feet than I realized. But you see that? But I was getting into, she has this was separate. But actually this piece right here is a separate moving piece. And this piece right here is a separate moving piece. I think everything else is just permanently glued. Now this is her default face, which looks good, but you do notice that she is looking off to the side. Now from this angle or that angle, it kind of could be straight, but with this default face, she is looking off to the side, and it is like that on the box. That's not like a misprint or anything. But she has different paint apps and gradients in the hair. The shoulder pads, it's like they went out of their way with this one. Now the other figures, I think some of them have different articulation than this one has. This one probably has the most from what I've seen, and she definitely has the most options as far as hands and feet and other accessories. The other figures don't seem to come with that many accessories at all. But all the paint and whatnot goes all the way up here. Yeah, the only thing off-putting to me as far as our design is the pins right there. And if they had to go with pins, it would have been nice if they matched colors or they painted the pin. That would have been lovely. You can see this hand has that on it. So all her other hands are basically going to be like this. I'm not going to spend time on most of the hands. But here's her bow. Several paint applications to the bow. It's crazy. Like, look at how many colors just this part has. And I love every single toy line that releases a figure with a bow should have an actual elastic string right there. Awesome. We have this little groove right there for our thumb, so don't be shocked about that. And we have a peg hole when I peg it to the back. You get this arrow, which is kind of bent. It's pliable, but it's not like gummy. And you get our spear. Now I can't remember in part 2. That's what this is, the Forbidden West. This was like glowing on the first game. I definitely remember that. But you see all the different colors on just this accessory. Now right now, as far as I know, when I bought this, it was $35. Awesome for $35. But they're originally charging $50. I personally, now that I have it in hand, wouldn't feel bad if you bought it for $50, but I'm happy I waited. The other accessories I'm going to show, which is her face, I'm going to show when I actually put them on. But let's get into the articulation, which is nuts. Let's show you this neck articulation. The neck is on a dumbbell joint, I believe, and she has a ball at the base of the neck like G.I. Joe. But unlike G.I. Joe, watch this. She can actually look up all the freaking way just with that part of the neck. Let's see, with the bottom one, it doesn't move back so much, but let's show you, she can look, this is the first time this happened, but she is capable of looking down a lot too. And watch this, the side tilt with just the top, whatever they are doing, Hasbro, as long as they're making action figures, listening to rumors, they need to copy off of this. But on top of that, 5 points of articulation in the hair. So you can lift this up and lift that up, lift this up, rotate it because it's on a ball joint to get it out the way. These braids right here, they're attached to the main part of her head. But we got this and this. So you can kind of like rotate these to make it look like she's falling down out the sky. Like rotate it like that. So for like that type of effect from certain angles and whatnot, which is awesome. They do, if you manipulate them wrong, they will come out. So be warned about that. But they go right back in. And it's typically, if I wasn't on camera, that would have been in. If I wasn't doing this from behind the camera, it would have went in easier. But of course, everything likes to show off. But trust me, that hasn't been too much of a problem. And like I said, I never popped that neck off, and I've been messing with her. Her arms go out to the side, more than 90. This butterfly joint, I'm gonna try to, let's zoom in on that. There's a lot of range. Like that is buttery smooth. It moves so freely, more than a ton of other figures. But with the way this is sculpted, as you can see, her crunching in ability she doesn't gain more from that, to be honest, as far as crunching in the front of her body. Then she doesn't have elbows that bend more than 90, but she does have bicep swivel. Of course, this can swivel that way. And she can swivel out to there. Let me zoom back out. The hands are all mostly on horizontal hinges. I believe the bow holding hands are on vertical hinges. The torso is crazy. Just with the upper torso, she can get that much, and she can crunch in that much. That's typically all you can get with a Hasbro female. But then you get the inverted, so she can crunch all the way freaking forward. And then with this, I beg for this, to crunch forward and be able to look up. And with the way she does her stances in the game, where she's like mostly crawling around all the time, perfect. It's like they went out of their way. The side tilt, look at that. Look at that side tilt. She goes back all the way. Of course, the rotate and rotate tilts. There's no drop down hips, I don't believe, but she can kick out all the way 90 degrees. She can kick forward slightly more than 90. She can go back. These things right here get right out of the way. She has thigh swivel, double jointed knees that go all the way up and kick her butt. She has a ball joint in the middle of this, so the foot can rock forward, side to side, and rotate. And you get feet kick all the way back, kick all the way forward. You get ankle pivot. Here is how they're sculpted. And you get a toe joint. The toe is stiff. I was able to get her in poses where she's standing on her toes and she can hold herself up. Well, yeah. And you're thinking she has single jointed elbows. How's she gonna do her posing? She can get into poses. Before that, one thing I didn't specify, she does have a peg coming out of her back. So you can put the bow on here if you want to. It is a very tiny peg, and the bow does sit up under the hair. That's another reason to have this posable hair. Now, I don't see a way for her to actually peg this on here at the same time. I mean, you can finagle, but yeah, there's no specific way. But her hair is holding that and it being rubbed up against the bow. So I wasn't even trying to do that, but you see it can be done. To make sure, I did show a close-up on her, but this is what the faces look like. Some people say it doesn't look like the face is actually connected to her head. But yeah, that's what that's looking like, and they just pop off just like all the other import stuff. She still has the ear with the focus. Her ears are still in there. And of course, you can just put the new faces on. They seem to be like squeezed in on the cheeks, and you have the two pegs. Here's this face, and these faces are awesome. I've spent a ton of time looking at her character model in the game, and it's like they just brought her to life. Speaking of the game, for the people who haven't played it, you should play it. It's a post-apocalyptic game, but instead of it being like The Walking Dead or something like that, where it still looks like modern day, like society basically got reset. So everybody is like more primitive, and they live more like a Native American type culture, Native American, Viking type, old like Asian type culture, more than like real primitives like cavemen and people that just walk around with leaves around their waist. For reasons, I'll let you play the game. And here's where I try to show off some poses. The actual gripping hands are on vertical hinges. Here she is dual wielding, maybe stabbing some robotic beast. And I'm gonna have her next to some other figures, and it's gonna be in a complete different background, but I wanna film this right now where I am. For this pose, I had her with this face right here, where she's like yelling or, yeah, angry, which looks good to me. Here she is with this face, shocked about that shot she just made. And here's where we venture into the face paint. This is like the most modest amount of face paint you could probably do in the game. I can't remember if you could do it in Zero Dawn, but Forbidden West, you definitely could. I definitely remember them doing a bunch of different face paints. Well, let's get a little bit close to that. Well, here she is, yeah, doing the pose that I was just trying to do. And as you can see, there's actual depth in her mouth. I don't know if her tongue should have been painted now that I'm this close. Like, from far away I didn't care, but now that I'm this close, it kind of looks like her tongue is sculpted in there. Here she is with this makeup right here, and with a smile. You can do more goofier poses or just something where you want her to be smiling. here she is with her most made up face and actually holding this bow, which is, do you know how many figures I have that come with a bow with a plastic string and an arrow? And it is impossible, even if they have double jointed arms, to get them into a pose this effortlessly. I love it. Love it. I probably should have her head more turned from this angle. But yeah, for the past few years after I bought this game, I've been wanting an action figure for her, and this is above and beyond my expectations, especially for somebody like Spin Master. I'm like tremendously shocked that they did this good a job, especially with like their, I think it's League of Legends figures they were releasing. But so you can see this, like these fingers grab the string, and you can actually take the butt end of this arrow, and I'm just realizing now that I have it zoomed in that it's actually molded in such a way that can go up against the string. But I was just plugging that between the fingers so she can actually hold it. And it's just so easy. I love it. I like this figure a lot. I'm super satisfied. Only thing I would change, if I could change anything, would be make this pinless. I don't know why they went with pins. And I would have given her elbows that bend more than 90 degrees. You can do swivel hinge joints and make them bend more than 90 degrees. I think they did that with the Atreus from what I can see in the pictures. But it would have been nice also to just give her pinless double elbows. But everything else is so smooth and dynamic. It's great. Like you can just shift her body around and go to different poses like effortlessly. Like I had her on her knee, but now she's on her butt and turned that way. And the neck is so awesome. It does everything I want an action figure to do that comes with certain accessories. You have an accessory like this, I would love for you to be able to bend your neck like that. Just like with G.I. Joe that come with like sniper rifles and whatnot. Having to fight with their neck to get them into like a prone pose, which they basically can't do, is a nightmare. Like speaking of that, here she is. She's on the ground, still able to like look up while she's in a more prone style pose, which is awesome. Like I'm just getting this at the end of the year, and this might be my retail figure of the year. I love it. I found out she has a peg hole in her spear, so the spear can fit into her back. And if you do that, you can just loop the bow around the spear any way you want. And if I have any other nitpicky complaint, she's just like any other retail or any other figure, period. You got to find that sweet spot because she has so many joints in the ankles, and you know, the ankles are finicky. It seems like every single figure I buy that is a retail figure, because of the plastic they have to use, you got to find that sweet spot. One other thing that I noticed, but I didn't really go into detail, like when you lift this fur off, that's actually what her outfit looked like when she was like stripped down to the bare essentials. So that's really cool. Like I said, I played this game, the first game I played through twice, so I have been looking at her a lot. That game is several hours, and the cutscenes, they zoom in on her face. Here's some other US retail action figures that are video game related. If you have Cammy, she's pretty much the same height as Cammy. Hasbro scale's a little bit bigger, as you can see, and she is in Fortnite, by the way. All of these characters are in Fortnite. Here's Raptor from G.I. Joe, typical G.I. Joe character height. He looks like one of the enemies you had in the game. I'm sure there are tons of Zoid type creatures out there, and there may be some actual figures from her actual game that you can buy, maybe through Lego or otherwise. But But this is a fans project female dinosaur thing that I have. Here's Figma Diva. Figma Diva is very short. Some of the other figures in that line are probably even taller than her. I have, what is her name? Is it Widowmaker? I forget. The sniper female one that got like purple skin. I believe she's taller than Aloy. Yeah, here's a female Marvel Legends. So yeah. Is getting her to pair in with lines you already own from Hasbro. No go. She does scale with the Jada toys as you saw, but she's her own person, her own character. I want her to be her, so I could find maybe some robots. I know I'm gonna buy Varl, one of her friends from that game. Hopefully he is good. I know his articulation isn't gonna be on her level, but hopefully he's still good. We'll find out. I'll review him too. Anyway, I said everything I can say about her. She's really awesome. I like it. Got it on Amazon. I'll put a link in the description for where you can get it on Amazon. Hopefully for the cheaper price that I got her for. Until next time, T-Man978 out of here. Thank you for watching.
Figure action. Join the Syndicate Toy Hunters Facebook group. Link in the description.
Click the videos. Click the fucking videos, baby. Click the videos. You should really click these videos. Click the videos. Click those fucking videos, baby. Click the videos. You really should